I'm Peter Weiss, and I have led a somewhat unusual life in that as a lawyer, I divided my time between representing clients in intellectual property matters. And the other half of my life, which gave me a lot more satisfaction, had to do with essentially three areas. One, peace and justice for everyone in the Middle East. Two, human rights, and in particular, the struggle against torture. And number three, working for a nuclear weapons-free world. The world desperately needs a working system of governance. And the closest we have to that is international law. And it doesn't matter whether international law is based on morality or whether it's based just on a bunch of lawmakers saying, we're making this law. You know, as long as there have been people in this world, there's been an effort to create some kind of regulation or governance. And it has taken the form of treaties, it has taken the form of institutions, and for almost anything that affects life in this society today, there is some kind of an international institution. And some of them work, and a lot of them don't work. I remember a talk I gave once about law, and one of the people in the audience was the president of the American Bar Association. And I said, you know, some people take international law very seriously, and other people just say, you know, as far as I'm concerned, and this is the head of the Bar Association speaking, international law is just a kind of confused morality. And we have to get away from that. We have to show people what international law can do. When you look at the premier institution in international law, which is the International Court of Justice in The Hague, which decides disputes between countries. It doesn't try individuals. That's up to the International Criminal Court. But the International Court of Justice, for instance, has resolved any number of border issues between countries who agreed to abide by the decision of the International Court of Justice, thereby avoiding another war. I would say there have been essentially two situations in which I can take some pride. And one of them was going to the International Court of Justice with a resolution from the General Assembly of the United Nations asking the court to render an advisory opinion on the legality of the use and threat of use of nuclear weapons. And the decision we got from the International Court of Justice essentially called the use and threat of use of nuclear weapons a violation of international law. The other one is a human rights case in which, again, my colleagues from the Center for Constitutional Rights and I were representing a woman from Paraguay whose 17-year-old brother had been tortured to death. The person who committed the torture that killed the young man was in the United States at the time. And we went to court to sue him on behalf of his sister and his father, who was back in Paraguay, on the basis of a law that was passed in 1789 in this country, which said that an alien, that is a foreigner, shall have access to our courts for a violation of the law of nations. When we went to court on the basis of that law, which had almost never been used in 200 years, and got a ruling from the federal courts in this country, which said, in effect, yes, torture is a violation of international law. You have the defendant here in this country. And it was the first case that ruled that somebody, a torturer, for instance, could be sued in this country on the basis of what he had done in a foreign country. Perhaps the most important thing that can be done to make international law real is to take it seriously enough to get the violators of international law into prison, because there is not enough enforcement of the norms of international law.